Going live at 5 or at 11:46. You know what I'm saying? What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Who Gonna Catch These Hands? I'm your boy, Joe Prophet. You know, hey man, if it's looking crazy up in here, because I'm in the Pheonix, Arizona hotel room, man, getting ready to go to this Naveratte and Valdez Weigh In. We're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on that a little bit here today. You know, a couple other things. We're gonna talk about that Tank press conference yesterday. I don't know if y'all checked that out. How y'all feel about that? We also gonna talk, this Liam Paro and Richardson Hitchens. That's a fight I'm really looking forward to. It's gonna be kind of interesting, man. I got a couple of guys up here with me today. I'm gonna bring them up later on as we move on. But first and foremost, man, let's start with this Naveratte and Valdez. A lot of people talking about it. A lot of people looking forward to this rematch. It was a hell of a fight, the first time around. Naveratte, edged out Valdez in a split decision. I don't really know how I feel about this fight and how it goes, because it seems like Valdez is at the end of the ropes. You know what I mean? At the end of the road. At the end of the road, it seems like trying to ride out. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about what Valdez is gonna do tonight. Naveratte definitely the more aggressive fighter. He's coming with it. But yeah, man. Hey, let me bring a couple of my guys on here, man. Kind of touch bases on these situations, on the situational. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring my guy Lunatic up here, man. Lunatic, man. What it do, man? What it do? Libertarian in the house.
What's going on, Joe? Can you hear me just fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, tapped in, man.
Okay.
It's a little dark over there, though. It's all good.
I think that the Naveratte versus Valdez fight is a compelling rematch, but I don't know if Valdez is going to bring anything else to the table. I mean, when we look at the first fight, Valdez was getting touched up in the first, second, third round. He made a battle of it. He's taken a lot of punches over his career. I just don't see, a different outcome to this fight unless Naveratte gets old overnight. I don't know.
I mean, I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? Naveratte, we know he's gonna throw them punches and bunches. We know that he's coming with that relentless pressure, and it's just like, can Valdez handle it? I don't know. I don't really know if he can. I don't know if he will. But one thing we do know about Valdez is that he got heart. That little dude got heart. Even if you beating the shit out of him, he's gonna definitely continue to get back up. But I don't think that's gonna win him the fight. He might win the hearts of a couple fans and stuff like that. But actually beating Naveratte, I don't see him doing that.
It's not a very good style matchup for Valdez. I mean, he's still trying to stay in championship contention after losing to Shakur Stevenson. Not looking good in that fight. The doping situation that he was suspended for, right. It's difficult to say where his headspace is at, and it's difficult to say what he'll change to fight that length of Naveratte, the power of Naveratte. Naveratte has obviously shown that he can hurt Valdez. Hasn't been able to stop him yet, but I mean, Valdez, when he finished that fight and the decision was read, his face was pretty telling the damage that was done to him. So I wish him the best in the fight. I hope that he's tightened up some defensive flaws that he's had. Naveratte does have that herky-jerky length to him, but we've seen Oscar being able to tag him, is the power not there anymore because the performance enhancement is no longer involved, or is Navaratte's chin just that good?
Mm. And we know we seen Navaratte's chin tested in the Liam Wilson fight. You know, some people can argue that he got his ass knocked out in that fight. I mean, shout out to the referee. Must have been Navaratte's cousin or, you know, some kind of distant family member, because that long elongated count, it definitely helped him out. Now, a lot of people argue that he got back up and he stopped Liam Wilson. So, you know, I mean, it's kind of tricky, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. You know, oh man, let's bring another guy up here, man. My boy Ace from God TV Boxing. Let's see what he got to say, man. Ace, what you thinking, man?
What's up, man? My bad.
No, how you feeling about, you know, this Naveratte and Valdez II?
I think it's gonna be worse than the first one. You know, I think when it's a rematch, people be more confident in the ring with each other, especially if you was the one who won. You know what I mean? You go have a lot more confidence. Whatever jitteriness you had before the first fight is probably not gonna be there in the second fight. And I think you get a more confident Naveratte. I think Oscar in for some trouble, but he can show if he a good boxer. If he a real good fighter, he'll make some adjustments in this fight, and he will do better. So, you know, he can show if he got that in him.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the first fight? You know, did you feel like Naveratte just overwhelmed him with the volume and stuff like that, or was the skill level just too much for Valdez? How'd you feel about that?
I don't think it was skill at all. I think that Naveratte just too big, too strong, and very awkward. You know, very unorthodox.
Nah, facts. Because he's throwing them punches from different angles, crazy angles. You know, I mean, Naveratte, I do appreciate watching, because it is very strange. Like, you know, he's throwing them punches from crazy places. You know, sometimes he looks defensively irresponsible. You know, like, you know, he's definitely there to be knocked out. You know, but that, I mean, it is what it is, man. Look, man, we're gonna bring my boy Maniac up here. You know, pro boxer, kind of get his insight on it. Maniac, man, welcome to the show, man.
Yo,
let's get your thoughts on this Valdez and Naveratte 2, the rematch. You know, how you felt about the first one and how you think the second one's gonna go, man. What you thinking?
well, the first one, I think it went how everybody suspected. Like Lunatic said, like we seen Oscar decline since the allegations, and well, not since the allegations, since he
Got busted.
Yeah. So with that being said, I suspected it to go that way. Naveratte known for, like, you know, just coming in there wild, punching on stuff, but Oscar's known for being tough as well. I think he understands that his career is at a dead end at this point if he don't win. So I think he gonna come to fight. I think he gonna let his hands go because he understand that.
You feel like Oscar gonna let his hands go because
his career's at a end if he don't win. So I think he's gonna come in and let his hands go this fight. I think he's gonna win this fight.
So you going Valdez?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Valdez this time. I'm not impressed with Naveratte winning the last time, and I'm not impressed with his performance before that. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna come in looking the same. So
how you feel about, like, when a lot of people call in Naveratte, like they say his style is trash? How you know? Do you think do we got a trash style because it's awkward and it's something that
I don't think it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's trash. I mean, we were talking about Boachuk and how his herky jerkiness doesn't really look that appealing, but it doesn't mean that his style is trash.
Okay. Maniac, what's up?
Well, yeah, that was it.
Hey, what about you?
I think his style definitely is trash. Because I think if he in there with somebody who highly skilled, the same size as him, it's gonna be issues for him. Like, look at the Robeson fight. Robeson was in there with him the whole fight. Like, I had Naveratte winning, but he still made it a competitive fight.
Right. No, that's actually, yeah, it was very competitive, very, very close. Some might even say Conceição won that. You know what I mean? And it's really big for Conceição because that came on the end of Valdez with the drug shit. You know what I mean? He literally fought Conceição that next fight. And that was crazy though, because why the fuck did not Valdez not get suspended for that dirty test? Like, he was still able to fight. He didn't get stripped of the title. Nothing. Like, when I think about it now, I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, I know he was with Canelo and them, but damn,
because it was in the T.
Yeah, got that.
Smooth money for that. It's smooth money for that. I mean, corruption in boxing has always been there. I mean, it's quite blatant. So I don't really know if it's going to be something that we're going to have to constantly go back to the drawing board on, or if it's something that's going to be eliminated by the restructuring of boxing now that we have someone like Turki Al-Sheikh's trying to really consolidate the control bodies to make it more of under one roof. And I think that's a good thing for boxing. We have a formula with Dana White that, sells tickets, grows the brand. They're partner up with the UFC as well. So, we'll see what happens with Riyadh season and all that when money's going to be no longer an issue for making fights. And, we'll see what happens.
And I think Riyadh season had a hell of a 2024. They put on some of the best fights we saw this year. Shout out to Turkey. I mean, he is operating like a fight fan, and you got to appreciate that. Trying to put these fights together that we want to see. They've been speaking potentially about, Bud and Canelo going at it for Cinco de Mayo next year on Riyadh season. If that's going on, I mean, at this point, it's like Turkey better than all y'all. The only one that can really compete with him is probably a Jake Paul, as far as putting on shows and stuff, because Jake Paul done put on some good cards this year. And
Riyadh season is very, very in the mix right now. Of everybody's aware of him. Everybody's talking about the Ennis Duck situation that they're calling it. I mean, we can call it what it is. I mean, it's business. But Canelo, if you leverage the fact of saying that he'll wait for you to agree to the money that he wants to make it, if you really want it, you're going to give me what I want. And if he's going to get that 150 million, more power to him. More power to him, because who knows what they're going to pay for Crawford. Is he going to make another $50 million payday? Because everybody will tune in for that fight. Everybody will, because it is Canelo, because it is Crawford. Two of the best pound per pound fighters that, are out there right now, active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Liam Paro, Richardson, Hitchens. I love this fight. I mean, I think it's a great fight. I love what Liam Paro is to the 140-pound division, because he's a boogeyman slayer. Super Real Matias was one of those guys that was looked upon as somebody that a lot of people didn't want to fight at 140. He actually killed a man in the ring, things of this sort. So it was like, yeah, I can understand why some guys might be a little fearful of this guy, but Liam Paro came to his hometown and pretty much just dismantled this guy, He flustered Subarel, punched him in, his inside work was pretty great, in my opinion. I feel like he confused Subarel a lot, and with this fight right here with Hitchens, man, I feel like Hitchens might be a little overwhelmed. I feel like, you know, the moment might be a little too big for Richardson Hitchens. You know, I think Liam Paro might just be a level above this guy. You know what I mean? He got big championship experience. He's come to enemy territory and taking a man's belt. But I don't know, man. You know, how you feeling about this Liam Paro and Richardson Hitchens?
I think Liam Paro surprised a lot of people with the fight with Matias. I think that Matias was being advertised as someone that was going to be the boogeyman. So with Liam Paro's performance, if you really pay attention to that fight, you know, I think he was almost willing to almost quit on himself, but then his corner brought him back to make his realization of being a world champion come to fruition. So I think that him going back to Puerto Rico, he's gained a lot of fans since he's from Australia. You know, now he's more of a worldwide name. I think he's got a lot of momentum. But let's not say that the talent for Richardson Hitchens isn't there to actually go in there and outbox this guy for 12 rounds. Matias was a pressure fighter, and Paro was able to withstand that, land his counter shots. And Matias really followed him around the ring for 12 rounds too, which I don't think Richardson Hitchens is going to do. I think they're both going to box smart. It's whether we can see who has the power to hurt the other fighter. I think that's a real question mark also in this fight. Who has the power to hurt each other, and then who's going to have the wherewithal to try and go in there and stop the other. So we'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this fight. I think it's going to be a good chess match.
Who you got in the fight?
I can't call it. I'm leaning towards Paro just because I think that he's got a little bit more pop. I think he's got a little bit more pop than Hitchens, and he is the champion coming in to keep his title.
Ace, talk to me, man. Who you liking this Liam Paro, Richard Hitchens? You know, how you think it's gonna go, man?
I favor Paro in the fight, but I think that early on it'll look like Hitchens' fight. I think Hitchens will look good maybe the first 5 to 6 rounds. You know, he might be looking like the guy who went in. I think Paro eventually catch up with him. No, I think Hitchens will slow down eventually throughout the fight, and that's when Paro end up catching up to him and probably end up hurting him or stopping him. I think he will have to at that point of the fight too. I think Hitchens, you know, be doing such a good job winning rounds that Paro would have that sense of urgency that I might have to knock this guy out.
Do you believe Richard Hitchens got it in him to knock him out? Do you believe he possesses that?
No, I'm saying Paro will have to knock him out.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm with you on that because I think Paro actually I think he has the skill set to actually do that, set that up to get Richard Hitchens out of there. Because Hitchens, I mean, I don't know, man. He just really acting like this young, immature, not ready kind of guy. Like he just, it don't seem like he's ready. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, you just getting up there, just saying a bunch of shit and talking a bunch of shit. That doesn't show me that you're ready. You know what I mean? Maybe if he had like, you know, some kind of poise to him or something. I know he's from New York. You know what I mean? But I'm just not getting that. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't see that with Richard. Like I really see somebody that's really about to get knocked out. They about to get knocked the fuck out. Like I ain't gonna lie. It seems like that to me.
Hitchens put his foot in his mouth when he said he wouldn't fight for the IBF because of the rehydration clause, while Matias was the champion. You know, that was a statement that he made. And then when Paro gets the belt, all of a sudden you just all
ready to
for
go.
it and already. Mind you, all right, that's cool. But if you wasn't sitting there saying you're not impressed by him beating Matias and Matias is an easily beatable fighter and all these things, like why were you so against fighting him then?
That's a great question. I mean, like I said, bro, that nervous energy is real. Like, and you could see it on Richardson hits. Well, how the fuck you say this guy's name? Hey, man, the nervous energy is there. Like, you know, yeah, you trying to sound good saying that Matias, you know, you wasn't impressed. He's an easy fight, but you clearly didn't want to fight this guy. That was clear as day. You were his mandatory. You didn't fight him. But now you're saying, oh, you the mandatory for Liam Paro, so you ready to step up in there. And I think that's the reason he's going to get knocked out too. Because he think Liam Paro is not like that. Because I didn't think Liam Paro was like that. Like going into that first fight, I definitely thought Matias was going to knock Paro out. I was looking, I'm like, he finna knock this dude the fuck out. And Liam Paro just stepped to this dude, man. I mean,
I think Hitchens is I think he confident because he sees that Paro makes a lot of mistakes that a boxer can definitely capitalize on. But I think he's counting out the fact that Paro will come hunt you down too. And he'll take one to give one. And you got to be able to take what he dishing out as well, you know?
For sure. And clearly he got something behind that shit because it was back in Super Real Matias, you know what I'm saying? So he definitely coming with some shit.
Hey, remember
in 25
Montana
fights, he has 15
well.
knockouts.
Montana Love was boxing him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he trashed that boy. Yeah, he facts. Oh man, you know, yeah, that boy got done. Man, I wonder what's going on with Montana Love right now. Cause I mean, I think that was the last time I seen him. Did he bring the dog out against Paro? I couldn't remember. I don't know. Anyway, I got my boy Southern back here, man. Southern, you want to give us some insight on this Liam Paro and Richardson Hitchens? You know, give us your tell us what you think, man. How you feeling about this?
I think we're gonna get a good fight. But I did notice that Richardson Hitchens definitely looks drained.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the weigh-in if they've had the weigh-in yet, but I watched the press conference yesterday. He looks drained. You can see it all in his face. I think that's why he had shades on. But you can see the cheekbones sunken in, and like he's looking very drained. And it's crazy to me because I feel like he's very confident. I give him a chance to win this fight for sure, but the stuff that he's saying and how he's trying to intimidate Leon Paro to me is crazy. Like, how you going to tell him what has he done, what type of performances he's had when he's the world champion? You haven't got to that level yet.
Yeah.
But it's a mind thing. He's trying to get in his head, but I think he better be ready because I don't think that's going to work. I think he better be ready to put on the best performance of his career. And same for Leon Paro. I think Leon Paro needs to pull out another performance like he had against Matias. He needs to bring that to make sure that he secures the win. I don't think he should sleep on Richardson Hitchens at all. I know Richardson Hitchens is not a big puncher. He's a technical boxer, but I mean, we never know what tools fighters are going to bring out the toolbox until they do it. So I think Leon Paro, I feel like he had a great camp. You could tell by the epilogue that his camp was no games. It was very serious. I'm leaning towards Leon Paro. I just feel like he has everything in his favor.
I like that. Oh man, let's bring Maniac up here, man. And see, I know Richard Hitchens. I know that's Richardson Hitchens is this guy. Let's see what he got to say about this. Hold on, just a second. Maniac, what you thinking about this, man? I know Hitchens is your guy, man. How you feeling about this fight and how it goes?
I think it's gonna be a lot more competitive than people think. I think Paro might be a little bit more battle tested, but I do think Hitchens got the boxing skills to pull it off. I actually think Paro in his career is probably going to struggle with a pure boxer. So I think somebody like Devin might actually have the tools to beat him. It depends. If Hitchens come in there and he's perfect that night, I think he can do it. He got the style to do it. But I think Devin actually got the abilities to, so we'll see. I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty close fight.
So you're going to be surprised if Hitchens get knocked out?
Hell yeah, I'll be surprised. Ain't no knockout happening. He's not stopping him. He's not knocking him out. This is about to be a very entertaining, close fight for sure.
I see you making the money sign over there, Lunatic. Are you inferring that you would put some money on that he's getting knocked out?
I think that Liam Paro has a better chance of knocking out Richardson Hitchens and beating Richardson Hitchens than what Maniac is talking about. And yeah, I'd be willing to put some money on that. Liam Paro might be able to crack Hitchinson because he's only got 18 fights. It's he's getting put in there with a world champion. What would be considered early in a career, I would say, for most fighters. And we'll see. I think that the people that put the backing behind Hitchens believes that his height and his boxing ability will be a problem for Paro, and he could probably get this world title. Whether they're going to keep it or not because of the rules and regulations that the IBF regulates, how long he would keep it is another question. I would say that Liam Paro probably has a pretty good chance of knocking out Hitchens, though. I think he'll probably catch him with something either to the body or to the head that's going to be on a counter punch while he's punching with Hitchens, because that's going to be his best bet, in my opinion.
Okay. Man, let's move it along a little bit, man. We'll talk about this Tank and Lamont Roach press conference from yesterday. I know you guys got a chance to check it out. It's the second day. They had like the opening one in New York, and then they did something in DC yesterday. It was interesting to me. You know what I mean? Tank's been looking a little bit uneasy. We haven't seen Coach Calvin. We haven't seen Leonard Yellerby. We ain't seen him. Two people that we always see at Tank events and that are ready to talk and ready to yap about Tank. I don't really know what to make about Coach Calvin not being there. I mean, I feel like he's gonna be there fight night. He's a day one. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to play the media or just trying to use any kind of selling point to sell this fight because it's not something that people are looking for, asking for, or wanting. Maybe the DMV, the battle of the Beltway they got going on over there. But even then, it's like, okay, these dudes is partners. One's a 130 pounder, the other one's a 135 pounder. I mean, I don't. It's not like Lamont Roach is the best 130 pounder out there. I don't think. I mean, I like to see him against a O'Shaquie Foster or a Ray Ford or one of them guys. You know what I mean? And I mean, Tank is arguably the best 135 pounder. He still ain't fought, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. I mean, let me not Devin. Devin's at 40. Lomachenko.
Lomachenko.
Baranchik, one of them guys. I mean, he mentioned Keyshawn Davis. We don't think he's going Keyshawn way, but hey, what I'm saying is Tank is probably arguably the best 135 pounder, but we know Lamont Roach ain't the best 130 pounder. So it's like, I don't know. Lunatic, how you feeling about this? The fight? What you think about the press conference? And I'm gonna touch on Lamont's dad shaking at the podium, but we'll get on that later, man.
I think Lamont's pretty confident for this fight. They do have an amateur background with each other. He did lose those fights. I think that I've seen an interview with him where he stated that he's comfortable with knowing the tells of Tank. And, if you're across from another fighter and you can understand, a simple muscle twitch might be a tell for a punch that's being thrown or a defense that's going to be coming. I think that Lamont is confident. I don't know if adding on another 5 pounds is going to be a huge benefit for him. I don't know what he walks around at, so that's a question that maybe he'll be more comfortable at 135. Maybe he'll have more punching power at 135. Maybe he'll have a little bit of a better chin and durability because he's not doing such a drastic weight cut. I think that any person that fights Tank Davis knows that Tank has the hammer. He can end a fight in one punch. And once he hurts you, he's definitely coming in for the kill, and it doesn't take him much. We've heard the stories about him knocking out middleweights in sparring and all that. So the punching power is real, especially in 8-ounce gloves. Can we put more stock into that? No. I think that the situation with the press conference is that I think Tank's getting ready for the fight. He's got to put that to the forefront. and I think that he's going to be out there to I've heard people say that his mentality's changed a little bit as far as his aggression in the press conferences. I just think that the more it progresses to the actual bout, once you get through the press tour, that naturally happens in a fighter. He's going to get more aggressive and he's going to get ready for fight night. That's what he's doing. I don't think that Lamont will win this. I think it'll be a competitive fight for a few rounds, but that's the typical storyline for a Tank fight. You're good for 3-5 rounds, and then 6, 7, and 8 is the danger zone. And that's when Tank's coming to really, he's already got you dialed in, timing, speed. He's coming in to really knock you out then. So.
I like that. Ace, man, tell me what you thinking about this, Ace? Lamont Roach, Tank, how you feeling about that fight? And then I guess tell me what you thought about the press conference a little bit,
I didn't really get to watch much of the press conference, but
Okay.
I'm gonna say it live on OSOS. I got a bad feeling about this fight. And I've been saying it. I ain't saying that Lamont go win, but I do think he gonna have some type of big moment in this fight. I can just feel it. It ain't even nothing technical or nothing. Just remember I said it. I think he gonna have him a good moment in this fight. We might get one of them moments where we like, oh, what's going on? Where we a little scared for Tank in the moment.
But you think that's gonna be enough to really do something, or just the ooh-ah for the moment?
I think it's just gonna be a ooh-ah for the moment.
Okay.
Because Lamont has a lot of them moments in this fight. Like if you just look at his record, you go, oh, he can't crack like that. But if you watch his fights, a lot of them fights he not knocking people out in, he hurting them. Yeah. Even including the fight that he lost
to my army guy, Jamel Herring, yeah. I mean, Lamont Roach, man. We gonna see. That's the good thing about the damn fight, is they got to get in the ring. I'm looking at Lamont. I mean, he only got one damn loss. Shit.
Yeah, he only lost to Jamel Herring.
I mean, shit.
And like I said, he had Jamel Herring on skates.
Yeah. We gotta go back in the lab and watch that. One. Maniac, man, I'm bring you up, Maniac. Tell me what you thinking about this, Maniac? Tank and Tank is you got. Tank and Lamont Roach, man. Yeah. How you think the fight's gonna go? What'd you think about the press conference yesterday, how it went down, all that good stuff?
I think the press conference went well. I think Tank seemed a little bit more relaxed than he did the first time. So seemed like he was cracking a little bit more jokes and being his regular self. I guess the A side or the entertainer or whatever you want to say. So with that being said, I like it. As far as Lamont Roach approach to the fight, I think he's doing exactly what he need to do. Get under Tank's skin, just not let him say anything to you, and just be a pushover. So them getting under Tank's skin could be it could work for him, it could work against him. I ain't never seen it work against Tank, so the odds is probably not in their favor to poke fun at Tank for real. But Lamont Roach, he brings a certain type of skill set to the fight that could pose problems for Tank. Like, he got sneaky power. I like to say he's like a 130 version of Terrell Gausha. If he catch you slipping, he can, he can either put you down or put you out.
I like Terrell Gausha too. He got that old uncle fighting style. Like he ain't really been like fucked up by nobody.
Right.
I mean, that guy's gonna give you a real sturdy test when you get in the bro. He dropped Tim Zoo. I felt like he whooped Carlos Adames. Like, I felt like he got him in a boxing lesson, and they really just took that away from my man. But it's crazy you brought him up, because I ain't gonna lie, like he's definitely one of them fighters. You better not play with him. He's gonna take that off from him.
Yeah, so he got the sneaky power to me, like Terrell Gausha does, and just a regular technical sound type of style. So yeah, he could bring some some problems to Tank. I don't think he will. I think he gonna be his regular self as far as like every other opponent, because these guys are good. So yeah, Tank just can't go in there and just walk all over him from start to finish. He got to figure him out, because no matter what people like to say, these are good people. These are elite fighters. They might not be the best in the division, but they're still elite fighters. So he got to go out there and crack the code for a few rounds, and then we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So yeah, I got Tank probably. I'm gonna give him the 8th round.
8th round TKO.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I'd have been surprised if you would have said it went 12 rounds. But yeah, because I don't
I
see
wouldn't be surprised if it did. Lamont Roach just ain't nobody just gonna come in there and just get stopped. But I do think his fighting style, he gonna have a lot of openings of trying to time Tank, and trying to time Tank is a terrible idea, because he understands that that's another smart fighter standing in front of me. So he's trying to time me as well. So Tank downloads a lot of data, throw a lot of feints. So once you think he's committing to something, he's countering your counter. And I think that's a mistake that Lamont Roach gonna make. So.
Okay, man. Listen, I got you guys on points of view. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I see Lunatic repping, you know what I'm saying, on some other shit brand. You know what I mean? Anybody out there, y'all want that, y'all need that, man. Listen, hit the website. You know what I mean? We still got a lot of merch out there. I appreciate Lunatic for rocking it, putting it out there. I appreciate Maniac and Ace, giving you guys his points of view on these hot topics and what we got going on. I'm gonna be right back in here for the Valdez and Naveratte weigh-in. I'm gonna be there live from that. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna bring these guys from the council back on, and we're gonna talk our shit, man. See what's going on out there, man. So listen. Yeah.
Hey, just remember, I'm the only one that said Hitchens got a chance. So if he come out here and outbox Paro, just remember, I'm one of the only ones that said Rayo was gonna outbox Pitbull too. So don't sleep. These guys can box for real. I'm telling you, Hitchens is like the no disrespect, but he's like the great value version of Devin Haney. Just saying.
But the thing about it is Liam Paul can box too. He can box.
But he's more of a boxer. He's more of a boxer puncher. We've seen him against styles that are more pressure fighters. You know what I'm saying? And he done met them with fire. He done beat them at their own game. I haven't seen him beat a boxer at their own game. I haven't.
It's gonna be
and
something.
I don't see it.
And like I said, man, I'm gonna be live. I'm gonna be live back again. 12 o'clock Mountain Time. I believe that's what 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern for the Naveratte Valdez weigh-in. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, this is another episode of Who Gonna Catch These Hands. I'm your host, Joe Prophet. I got my boys with me from the shed. My boy Ace Buggy representing the Bay. We got Maniac representing ATL.
Yes, sir.
We got Lunatic representing Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? So we from all over, man. You know what I mean? And like I say, we see y'all at this weigh-in, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
All right, man.
I appreciate y'all boys, man.